What is up, guys? Welcome back to Life on the Wrist. Hope you guys are doing well today. Everyone is doing collection videos, and so I thought Life on the Wrist should do one too. We're going to be going over some of the watches that have been taking up some time on our wrist. I've got a couple pieces over on my left, but what I'll do is I'll switch perspectives. I can show you guys all of these pieces. We've done videos on most of these pieces, so I'll put a link in the description to all these videos, or you can just check them out on our channel. Most of them were released within the last month, so it'll be in our recent videos. I'd love to get your thoughts on the watches that I have right now. It's a small collection, it's nothing big, but these are definitely watches that have been taking up some time on our wrist compared to some of the other pieces that we've had over the last couple months. So I'm super excited to share this with you. There is a watch that I haven't actually featured on this channel in any of my videos, so I'm excited to show you that piece as well. It isn't listed on our store or anything like that, but it will be soon, so we'll make sure to share that with you guys during this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to smash that like button. It really does help us out. And without further ado, let's flip perspectives and dive into the 5 watches that I have in front of me so that I can share my thoughts on this collection. All right, so welcome to the collection. So like I said, this is a couple of watches that we have on our store that's been taking up some of our wrist time. There are some pieces that you've probably seen us wear often. I'm mainly talking about this Memosa, but then there is one piece that we actually haven't featured on this website, but we actually think it's some of the best value in watches right now. We have sold a couple of them, and that's this middle piece here. The majority of these pieces are for sale, and as I go through them, I will let you know which ones are, and you can check out our store on our website if you are interested in getting some more information about these pieces. So it's a five piece collection. Like I said, mainly vintage focused, and so let's just dive right into these pieces. I'll start off with this piece over on the left here. This is a piece that has obviously gotten a lot of wrist time, basically over my entire life of collecting watches, and that is my yacht timer called the Memosa. This is from the 1970s and was my first vintage watch purchase. As you can see, it has this 10-minute counter, which is the yacht timing complication, and you use a chronograph to start and stop your 10-minute counter. I wrote an extensive piece on the history of the Memosa and the different variations that you can have. I have it on this blue Perlon strap. I love the blue. That's one of the reasons why I decided to buy this piece, is because blue really was something that I loved and really caught my attention when I was looking at vintage watches, and so this was like the perfect piece. The watch itself runs on the Valjoux 7737, which is a modification to the Valjoux 7733 or 34, and so cool modifications. Basically, the wheel that would elapse a 1-minute counter on a chronograph was added. There was an additional tooth that was added to the bottom of it, so basically as time elapses, you'll see that the inner disc of this watch will move twice. I was trying to figure out why the chronograph was not running, and then I realized that I hadn't wound this piece, so now we can get it running now. So you'll see basically once it gets to the 30 down here, you'll see that inner disc move, and that's basically how the movement functions. So we'll see here that you'll see in 5 seconds that inner disc will move, and that basically is how the watch works. So there you go. One of my favorite pieces will always be in my collection because it was my first vintage watch purchase. It obviously is not in pristine condition. You can see some of the gold plating is coming off, especially on the sides here, but I like vintage watches with a little bit of character, and I think this one definitely has it. So this piece is not for sale, obviously. It will be in my collection for some time. We can move on to the next piece. I'm actually going to go over to this side. And this is a really beautiful, really clean Longines 5-star Admiral automatic piece. This watch was manufactured in the 70s. You can kind of tell from the cushion form case, and features a date complication. This piece is for sale on our site, so you can check it out there. It doesn't come on this strap. This is a strap that I got from Strapsco. I've done some reviews on their straps, and I thought this was a really nice combination, especially with this gold watch and white dial. I think it really does fit nicely. You can see on the back there is some wear to the case. It's a 10-karat gold filled case, but just look at the absolute condition on that dial. In really great condition for a piece from the 70s. It's 34 millimeters, so it fits my wrist super nicely, as you can see. And I think Longines is some great value in watches for sure. So another really cool piece. This one actually has the caliber 508 movement, and so what I like about this piece is that obviously you'll elapse time to move the day of the week, but then the date function actually has a quick set feature. So the way you actually change the date is you press the crown in. So if I can get this to go, I had this problem where I wasn't pressing in the crown hard enough, but you'll see now when you press it in, you can see that you're able to elapse the date forward. So I thought that was a really cool complication. Again, this watch is for sale on our store, so be sure to check this Longines out. Moving forward, I'm going to go back over to this side, and this is another piece that we sourced for our store. This is a Universal Geneve from just after World War II, 1945. And the biggest feature about this watch is obviously you see the double signature on the dial. It has a double signed dial from the famous London-based jeweler J.W. Benson. They're no longer in existence after being acquired in the 70s, but I think that makes this watch even more rare. Obviously, you have this really beautiful stainless steel case, applied hour markers, and slowly patinaed dial. You can see it's slowly kind of getting even. It obviously really makes me feel, it reminds me of kind of like a watch from World War II, if I'm honest. Universal Geneve did have a relationship with J.W. Benson, and so there were some of their watches that were signed. I think double signed watches are rare, fun to collect, and if you're looking at different jewelers, I think it makes it even more interesting. So it comes on this really beautiful blue strap. It's a 60 millimeter lug width, but I think the blue strap really brings out the blued hands on this piece even more, and so I think it's a great combination. It's also really easy to adjust the strap because you have the holes in the lugs of this watch. So again, this one is available in our store, so if you want to check out some more pictures and some more about this watch, we did a video on this Longines, but also on this Universal Geneve, so you can check that out for kind of video information, and then on our store you can get some more information there. It is also I think 34 millimeters, and so fits my wrist really nicely, and is another really beautiful vintage piece. It doesn't have the a seconds indicator on it, which either you love it or hate it. I think it's that's kind of how I think collectors will be looking at it, but a really cool watch. You can see here, I'm gonna just quickly go back to the Memosa, but you can see now, there's 5 minutes that have elapsed on this piece. We'll come back over to this side, and this is an extremely special watch for us. This is a Patek Philippe that we sourced for our store. This is the reference 2594. There are other references from Patek Philippe that are described as disco volante. This has a similar shape for this case. This is a fairly rare version of the 2594. I haven't really seen ones with a bezel like this before, or I've seen a couple of them, but they're not as common as kind of having like a smooth bezel on these pieces. It's obviously solid gold, and you can see signed crown here. Let me make sure you can get a nice image there, but a really beautiful piece. The watch itself measures 32 millimeters in diameter, so a true dress watch for sure. And just look at how beautiful that looks on your wrist. Absolutely amazing dress watch. The watch itself runs on the 23-300 movement, which is hailed by a lot of collectors and watch scholars as being one of the best 10 line Patek Philippe hand wound movements ever produced. There is some things that they did with the regulator, the regulation components of this movement, and so makes it extremely accurate. When I got this piece in and I kind of wound it, I was like, wow, this movement itself just feels of really high quality. And then when you put it on, it's like you don't want to ever take it off. This one has been taking up a lot of my wrist time, so go figure. But another really beautiful piece. Like I said, this one is also available in our store, and we've done a full-length video about this piece, so be sure to check that out in our videos. And then obviously you can check out our blog post where we go in depth on this watch as well, and you can check out this watch in our store. And then the last piece in this collection that I have is a piece that hasn't actually made an appearance on our website or on our YouTube channel, and that is this Rolex Explorer II with a black dial. The Rolex Explorer II has become an extremely popular piece for collectors. I think it has a lot of the sporty aesthetics that people are looking for when they're looking for a stainless steel sports watch from Rolex. To kind of describe this watch, obviously stainless steel case, stainless steel bracelet. This watch is a K serial, so it's from about 2000, 2001 time frame. Comes with drilled lug holes, oyster bracelet with Rolex clasp, and is an absolute beautiful piece. We're obviously going to do a video on this piece, so I'm not going to go too in depth into it, but we'll do a video so you can get some close-ups. But it just fits absolutely phenomenally when you put it on your wrist, and is an absolute beautiful piece. Like I said, this one is the black dial version. There is a white dial version, which is extremely popular for collectors, but we've seen the black dial kind of increase in popularity over the last couple years. I really like the GMT hand, that it's red. It really stands out on the dial. The newer versions of this watch, I think, come with an orange hand, which I think is cool. Date, complication, and obviously is a really beautiful piece to be able to have, wear, and it's probably going to be taking up some wrist time over the next couple weeks. So super excited to have this piece in. This piece is not on our store right now, but it is available for sale. If you are interested, be sure to send us a message, and we can I can get you some more information about this piece. Obviously, we have a video coming out, so you could also just wait for that for all the information, and we'll be sure to throw it up on our website too. So that is the 5-piece collection. These are the watches that have kind of, taken up wrist time, found their way onto our store, but also are just an absolute pleasure to wear. If I was to pick a favorite, you have to remember this piece has been in my collection for a while, so it's probably the Memosa. You can now see that the yacht timer says start, and that kind of indicates the start of the yacht race. So I'm glad you got to see kind of the elapsion of time on this piece. And then there you go. So this is probably my favorite. This one has probably been on my wrist the most. It's becoming one of my favorites, the Patek Philippe. So Hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at these 5 watches. Let me flip perspectives so we can close out the video. Cool, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing some of the watches that we have in our collection right now. Obviously, pretty heavily focused on the vintage side of things. I'm a vintage lover. I love vintage watches. That's why I started life on the wrist. And so, heavy vintage focused, heavy on the less complicated side of things, but really cool pieces to be able to wear on my wrist. Like I said during the video, basically all of these except the memo sale are for sale. So be sure to head over to our store if you are interested in one of them. We'd love to hear from you. Don't be afraid to shoot us any questions you have about these pieces. I'm totally open to talking about these pieces. I love talking about watches, so that's why I have the channel. So yeah, feel free to shoot us a message if you are interested in one of them. There's also more pictures if you'd like to see them there, and some more info on the watches. So yeah, check out our store if you're interested in any of these pieces. Also, if you did not do it in the beginning of this video, be sure to smash that like button for us. Your videos help us out. It helps out, these videos get into the YouTube algorithm nicely, and then gets pushed to more watch enthusiasts, and that's exactly what we want, is to make sure that we continue to grow the Life on the Wrist family. So be sure to do that. Also, if you like these types of videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.